excited to be back with a full-length show. And
Yes.
man, we got the one and only Natasha Blasick coming on the show to talk about her latest Peacock, like mockumentary, documentary type thing, Paul T. Goldman. It's going to be fun.
Oh my gosh, she was an absolute blast to talk to. You guys are going to love that interview. And that show is just like out there crazy. And you should hear the stories that she tells us in this interview about that show. Yeah, I can't. You're going to just have to listen.
We're super excited though, man. Oh man, it's great to be back. It's great to be back. But that interview is later on the show. Now, let's get a little crazy. What's up, guys? Oh my goodness, we are back with episode 227.
Woo!
You guys know your host with the most, myself, J-Lo Fantastic, and the one and only Mal.
What's up?
Oh my goodness, guys. We know it looks a little different, but don't worry, it won't be forever. We promise you. We promise you. But before teasing the rest of the show, be sure to leave us a rating on this podcast. Comment below. Tell us what you actually think about the show. And of course, leaving a rating actually helps the podcast and the show get seen by more people who enjoy entertainment news, and especially those who are trying to break into the entertainment industry. Man, we're super excited because we got a lot to talk about. There is sadly a passing that you may not know the name. A lot of us do know the name, but all you fair weather, film and television people are going to be like, man, I really know that face. It's a huge loss for the entertainment industry. So we're going to be talking about that.
It is.
And we're going to be talking all about the other SAG-AFTRA negotiations. Fran herself, the nanny, she just came out and was like, talks are in great negotiations and blah, blah, blah. And, I don't really buy anything she says, but we'll dive deep into that. And of course, anything that's happening in Hollywood and the entertainment industry, we are talking about.
Yes.
And of course, be sure to head over to our website, www.crazyantmedia.com, where you can start rocking the latest and greatest Crazy Ant Media gear. We got shirts, we got hats. As you see, we're representing the merchandise. It's all about that, man. Right now, we have a promotional sale for 15%.
Yes.
Be sure to check that out before your July 4th Independence Day weekend. We're super excited about that. And man, oh man, it's going to be a great show. I'm just super excited about it. There's a lot happening, man, and we haven't talked in a while. So we're really excited to jump back into this.
Hell yeah, we are.
Oh my goodness. But like I teased in the earlier section, we're going to be talking about the passing first. Alan Arkin. We begin this with some somber news. Hollywood legend and Oscar-winning actor Alan Arkin, with a body of work that spans 7 decades of stage and on-screen acting. Now, he died June 29th at his home in Carlsbad, California. He was 89 years old, so lived a very long and prosperous life. Arkin, who was known for projecting a characteristically dry wit and could play a tragedy with equal efficiency. Now, he won his Oscar for supporting performance in the indie comedy Little Miss Sunshine back in 2007.
Yep.
Now, he scored an encore nomination for his punchy and profane turn in Ben Affleck's Best Picture winner, Argo. Now, Arkin picked up 2 earlier nominations in his career for The Russians Are Coming and The Russians Are Coming in 1967, and for The Heart is a Lonely Hunter back in 1969. So as you can see, he's been around for a while. And more recently, Arkin received back-to-back Primetime Emmy Award nominations in Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series for his best performance in Netflix series The Kaminsky Method, in which he starred alongside the one and only Michael Douglas. Yeah, this is a huge loss for the entertainment industry. As soon as it popped up on Twitter for me, and I was just like, man, that's rough, because he's definitely one of those, that you would always try to envision yourself working with later down the line. So that it was a tough one for me to see.
Oh, without doubt. I mean, you don't last in Hollywood for 70 years unless you're doing something right, like seriously right. Of course, his family is pretty much Hollywood royalty. You guys know his son, Adam Arkin, as well, is on the West Wing. He's a phenomenal television director himself and actor himself in numerous stuff. And he's the one who actually released the news. Yeah, it's just really sad. I mean, Alan was a phenomenal guy, and just it's going to be a big loss, and the industry's going to miss him for sure. Mm-hmm. All right, now let's jump over to the one that everybody's talking about, guys. SAG-AFTRA, will they or won't they? Well, with just a few hours to go before the current contract expiring, that's right, I said just a few hours to go, y'all. It ends at midnight tonight unless they can come up with some sort of a change. So, oh my goodness, I just don't even know what to do. They are, though, both sides are considering extending negotiations until next week or slightly later. The extension could run until July 7th, and we are hearing from multiple sources that they're hard at work trying to make that happen. The contract, as I said, expires today at midnight Pacific time. This also would make sense given the most Hollywood will be out of town for a long Hollywood weekend, so they're trying to extend that bad boy. There are dozens of rumors flying around the picket lines and Beverly Hills lunch spots. There's talk that SAG-AFTRA isn't as close to a deal as the video by Fran Drescher and Duncan Crabtree Ireland suggested, and some are also saying that the DGA has been trying to encourage SAG-AFTRA leadership to take a deal rather than strike. So what? I don't know.
It's kind of crazy. And I mean, after it emerged that over 300 actors had written to SAG-AFTRA leadership that they were prepared to strike if the guild doesn't even get anywhere. So that is very interesting. Now, during the talks with the studios, the number of actors signing the letter has more than tripled. Now, sources reveal that the letter has now been signed by over 1,000 actors, including Hollywood A-listers like Charlize Theron, Joaquin Phoenix, Jamie Lee Curtis, Kobe Smulders, and Pedro Pascal, as well as, curiously, SAG-AFTRA president Fran Drescher.
What?
She's trying to play both sides here, and it's been very interesting to see how she's approaching this whole thing.
Oh, without doubt.
Other names recently added include Quintina Brunson, Glenn Close, Jennifer Lawrence, Mark Ruffalo, Meryl Streep, Ben Stiller, Paul Giamatti, Bradley Whitford, Rose Byrne, Olivia Wilde, Ewan McGregor, Audrey Plaza, Rooney Mara, and Sarah Paulson.
Man.
Like I said, a lot of Hollywood A-listers. Given that Drescher is essentially leading the charge during these negotiations with the IMDbPro, I gotta take that one slow. Alongside chief negotiator Duncan Crabtree Ireland, her signature is an interesting move, though. Having said that, Drescher drove the membership to a strike authorization vote, saying acting careers are at stake. Her signature also comes after SAG-AFTRA's two leading political factions have joined forces to form a unity slate to endorse her re-election and the re-election of Secretary Treasurer Jolie Fisher.
I mean,
sense while she's trying to play both sides.
That should tell you everything, though. If you guys follow this show or you guys are just familiar with it at all, those two sides are at war constantly. So it's gotten so bad that they've actually joined forces and agree on something. What the fuck? That should tell you everything you need to know. But if you want to know what the letter said, the letter that was signed by 1,000+ A-listers, here it is. It reads, quote, "Solidarity demands honesty, and we need to make clear our resolve. A strike brings incredible hardships to so many, and no one wants it, but we are prepared to strike if it comes to that. And we are concerned by the idea that SAG-AFTRA members may be ready to make sacrifices that leadership is not. We hope you've heard the message from us. This is an unprecedented inflection point in our industry, and what might be considered a good deal in any other years is simply not enough. This is not a moment to meet in the middle, and it's not an exaggeration to say that the eyes of history are all on us. We ask that you push for the change we need and protections we deserve and make history doing it. If you are not able to get all the way there, we ask that you use the power given to you by us, the membership, and join the WGA on the picket lines." SAG-AFTRA declined to comment on the letter. Not surprised.
No, not surprised at all. Well, one thing is really clear, though. If SAG-AFTRA calls for a strike either at midnight Pacific time or sometime next week during the holiday weekend, there would be a huge ramification for the entertainment industry. The majority of scripted TV series already have been shut down as a result of the writer's strike. Now, if the actors walk, there would be more casualties in this industry. The large number of US series are shooting abroad, particularly in the UK and Europe, and those who would also be shutting down. Largely have been out of the glare of picket signs are up now. Now, in the US, the fall broadcast schedule, which already has been crushed by the writer's strike, would be impacted further. A SAG-AFTRA strike also would be expected to hit unscripted, which has started to pick up after the slowdown of the writer's strike. So all of this stuff is going mad right now. Many broadcast shows are hosted and executively produced by WGA and SAG-AFTRA talent. And we've heard from a handful of game shows and competition shows that have been forced to delay production as some actors are unwilling to cross those picket lines. By no surprise, this thing is going to keep on moving forward until the Producers Guild just kind of tries to meet in the middle.
Oh yeah. But it's not just television, y'all. A full-on SAG-AFTRA strike would definitely mean a shutdown of feature films in Hollywood also, worldwide. Despite streaming executives' swagger about being prepared for the WGA strike and their ability to weather it, prolonged SAG-AFTRA and WGA strikes trigger fear in the hearts of motion picture suits. Trust me, there's no way they're not trembling right now. The Q4 theatrical release calendar would become basically a desert. Nothing, guys. Empty. Barren. Currently, there are no plans by the major studios to move 2023 titles into 2024. As a result of the WGA strike, a domino effect was triggered for Disney, which delayed the release of several movies, some from deep into 2026 and beyond, as scripts weren't ready. For instance, Avengers Kang Dynasty going to May 2nd, 2025 to May 1st, 2026, and Avengers Secret Wars heading from May 1st, 2026 to May 7th, 2027. So, how does it affect indie filmmakers like ourselves? Well, SAG-AFTRA has been fielding inquiries and applications for interim agreements and waivers for the past few weeks, but won't actually grant them until the current contract expires, which raises a major question in talks are extended. Does tonight remain the official end of the current contract, or does the official end date move to the next deadline? It's a big issue for productions such as ours looking to start in the coming months. Indie productions will absolutely no connection with any producers or companies involved with the producers, could theoretically carry their waivers to financiers and bond companies who could theoretically accept them. But, guys, that's highly unlikely because hyped up activity on the picket lines. There's a production risk if actors who can work don't want to cross. Even bigger issues for productions in the U.S. are the Teamsters, which we've been reporting on. They haven't been willing to cross the WGA picket lines, even if actors will. So that affects everything, guys. We have SAG-eligible actors and actors that hope to one day join the union attached to our film. We can't get a waiver from SAG-AFTRA for our non-union film. Currently, they're not doing it. And we don't want to put in jeopardy our actors who might someday want to join the union, because SAG-AFTRA has made it clear that if you cross the line and go to work for any production during a strike, they're going to ask you if you did, and they're all but saying you're not getting in the union if you did. So that's all kinds of fucked up, guys. I don't even know what to think about it, but we're for sure going to keep you updated because this is fluid and it's moving, and we just don't know, guys. It's unprecedented.
Yeah, it's really interesting too, because I'm sure, as a lot of people have been seeing on our social media, we just brought in a whole bunch of new interns, new people into the company that, they come in on a film and television production company, but they came in at a really bad time because we're kind of at a halt because of these strikes. So we have to, keep them motivated in a way that, this is just part of it. You have to weather the storm just to get to where you want to be. So I mean, it is a good learning experience, but then at the face of it, you're like, sorry, my bad. But you know, it's just one of those things we can't control. But I mean, we have to give a shout out to all the newbies, everybody who's a part of Crazy Ant Media and all their social media platforms, because they've been killing it right now.
Oh,
So I just wanted to throw that out there. But yeah, it's definitely something that impacts everybody in the entertainment industry, from the very biggies to us indie guys down here. So it's kind of crazy.
for sure.
Well, we are hopping to Disney. This one is very interesting because projections show that this one's not going to make over 100 million, but they spent a shit ton of money on it. Harrison Ford is gearing up for his last adventure as Indiana Jones with $7.2 million in previews at the domestic box office. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny opens in 4,600 theaters this weekend, heading into that 4th of July holiday. The Dial of Destiny, Disney and Lucasfilm's fifth and final in this franchise, is expected to whip up just a mere $65 million in its opening weekend domestically. A solid start, except for the fact that the movie budget was a massive $295 million budget. That is crazy. So I'm predicting another bath on this one. A portion of that went to the de-aging special effects, which turned the 80-year-old Harrison Ford back into his younger movie star self, which partly takes place during Indy's earlier days, which is very interesting. Hopefully no planes were crashed. The $295 million budget does not include marketing costs to the promotion of the film, such as the extra Cannes Festival premiere and the after party. Now, Indiana Jones has overcome some eye-popping odds in his adventures, and the Dial of Destiny turning a profit may be its greatest challenge yet. Now, the last time Indy was on screen was in 2008's Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which may have left some people a bad taste in their mouth, so maybe that's part of it. And that one opened at $100 million. So that's why I'm saying they're possibly not going to this one, because of the bad taste of the last one. Now, that one finished domestically, finished with $317 million in North America and $790 million globally. Now, the Dial of Destiny, which is this one, is sure to open at number one this weekend, though. But it will take a lot of nostalgic fans to hit those theaters.
This guy.
That guy right there. So you'll have to go see it 1,000,001 times to make sure they get that money back. But yeah, I mean, I just, I didn't have high hopes for this thing in the first place. But yeah, it is. I'm still very big on Disney. So it's sad to see that. But I think it's kind of what we've been talking about on Twitter a little bit, where they've just been overpopulating the market with so many of their films, so some of them are feeling the effects of that. I mean, do you feel the same way?
I mean, yeah, I think, and Iger is doing his very best to try to clean that up. This is a hangover from Chapek, where it was all go, 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 content, and Iger knows the necessity of slowing it back down and quality over quantity, and they're working at it. But it's definitely taken some time. And guys, I mean, there's no way this film is profitable, and that kills me, because my man James Mangold, is like the director, and I'm a huge fan of him. You guys know he finally got Wolverine right. Like he's a brilliant director, and so to have this film not do well is gonna suck for him, and it's just unfortunate. But yeah, no way. $295 million. They have to make twice that just to break even, and that's not even including the marketing. No way this thing is profitable. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah.
Let's see. This one should be pretty interesting, though. Evan Peters, who recently generated acclaim for his portrayal of the title character in Dahmer, Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story, has apparently closed a deal to star opposite Jared Leto in Tron: Ares, the third installment, of course, of Disney's technology-pushing movie series. Now, Joachim Ronning is directing the feature that is due to begin shooting in August in Vancouver. We'll see.
Yeah.
Getting filming off the ground would be a coup for the studio, which has been trying to make Tron 3 for more than a decade now, y'all. Disney released the original Tron in 1982, of course, with Jeff Bridges starring as video game designer Kevin Flynn, who is transported inside his own creation and teams up with Tron, a security program played by Bruce Boxleitner. Now, the studio finally made a sequel in 2010, Tron Legacy, which was directed by future Top Gun Maverick filmmaker Joseph Kosinski. That one starred Garrett Hedlund and Olivia Wilde and brought back Bridges. Now, while the two previous movies were largely set inside the world of computers and programs, the script for Ares, written by Jesse Wutko and Jack Thorne, is said to focus on the emergence of the sentient program that crosses over into the human world that is not ready, of course, for contact. Leto, who has been attached to the project for several years, is set to play Ares, the manifestation of the program. It's unclear who Peters would play, although the script does call for a soldier in the computer world and an awkward gamer in the human world. My money's on that. Emma Ludbrook, Jeffrey Springer, and Leto are producing. Russell Allen is executive producing. I'm excited about this. I actually am a huge fan of the Tron movies, and it'll be interesting to see them come outside of the game into the real world. That's a unique spin on it.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I definitely think he's trying to take a different approach on what he picks for his roles. At least him and his agents are, because I remember that Hollywood roundtable discussion they put out there, and he was not a fan of what the series Dahmer did to his mental health.
Yeah, he's like, no more bad guy roles.
Yeah, exactly. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see more lighthearted or more stuff like this in his career, which he's really good at. So I just feel like, he'll be fine.
For sure.
Now Hulu has acquired the U.S. rights to Jake Johnson's feature
Awesome.
directorial debut, Self-Reliance, and in a competitive deal with MRC and Paramount Global Content Distribution. The film is also written by and stars Johnson. He is from New Girl, if you guys didn't know, and stars Anna Kendrick, Natalie Morales, Andy Samberg, Gata, Emily Hampshire, Mary Holland, and Christopher Lloyd, Wayne Brady, and a couple of others too that you have seen on the silver screen. Self-Reliance is about a man who is offered $1 million to play a game in which hunters try to kill him.
Whoa.
He thinks he found the perfect loophole that can only attack when he's alone. His only problem is that none of his friends or family believe the game is real. So it will premiere on Hulu Original on September 8th. That sounds like a fun, lighthearted, maybe kind of like a thriller comedy type thing. So we'll see how that goes. I'm excited for it.
I mean, he's riding high, right? The New Girl launched him. Of course, if you guys don't know, he's Peter Parker in Spider-Verse, right? And now this, I mean, I can't wait to see it. I love him. I think it's going to be fantastic. Let's see. Hulu has dropped another Futurama trailer to wet the whistles of fans. The long-awaited revival of the animated series is set to premiere Monday, July 24th on the streamer. New episodes will be released weekly during season 11, which consists of 10 episodes. Now, Hulu previously announced a 20-episode order of the animated comedy in February of 2022. For you guys, are you ready? Here's the official log line for the new iteration. After a brief 10-year hiatus, Futurama has crawled triumphantly from the cryogenic tube, its full original cast and satirical spirit intact. The 10 all-new episodes of Season 11 have something for everyone. New viewers will be able to pick up the series from here, while longtime fans will recognize payoffs to decades-long mysteries, including developments in the epic love story of Fry and Leela, the mysterious contents of Nibbler's litter box, the secret history of evil robot Santa, and the whereabouts of Kif and Amy's tadpoles. Meanwhile, there's a whole new pandemic in town as the crew explores the future of vaccines, Bitcoin, cancel culture, and streaming TV. Of course they do, because why wouldn't you be talking about all that stuff?
Of course, that's why I love adult animation. They shine a mirror on society and reflect it. It's so good, though, because everybody was huge fans of Futurama, so I'm excited to see that one come back.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not all good news for Hulu, though. The streamer is joining the latest round of programming purges. Hulu is pulling off a number of additional series from its service as part of Disney's wider plan to cut streaming costs. Fucking Bob Chapek. God, he ruins everything. So Iger is trying to fix everything. They include Alaska Daily, which I heard was really good. That sucks. The Company You Keep was really good, so that one sucks. Both of those were canceled by ABC after one season. Now, both of those shows would normally have stayed on the service until September or later if Hulu had struck a longer deal, but are being removed earlier, like next month earlier. Going forward, ABC series canceled after one season, as well as specials, likely will fall under the same similar strategy, I guess you could say. The series won't disappear completely. However, as episodes still be available to buy via iTunes and Amazon, but who wants to buy them?
Right?
Goodness gracious.
And that sucks for the Company You Keep. I wish people would be able to watch it on Hulu because it was so good and it ended in a way that would be awesome for it to keep moving forward. I'm surprised they didn't try to shop that bad boy around somewhere else. Let's see some possible optimism here for the future of ABC's home economics. We've learned the cast options have been extended beyond the June 30th deadline, possibly indicating that renewal prospects are good for the comedy series that remains on the bubble. However, there has been no official decision on the renewal yet. Now, home economics and the Rookie Feds are the two AB series that remain in limbo. Home Economics has performed respectively, though, especially in the 18 to 49 demo, even ticking up in the ratings with Abbott Elementary as a lead-in. But it just hasn't found that extra gear yet. So will it be renewed? Will it not? We don't know.
Exactly. So many things, man. So many things. But there is some positive news coming out of FX and Hulu because things are heating up for FX's The Bear on Hulu.
Yes.
The entire second season of this half-hour dramedy launched on the streamer this past Thursday. Now, since then, the season 2 debut has become one of the most watched premieres of any FX series on Hulu. The Bear has also posted significant gains versus last season, with a 70% increase in total hours streamed over the first season after the first 4 days of viewing.
Woo!
So season 1 marked the most watched in a single season of a comedy series in FX history, and season 2 now seems poised to break that record. Now, in season 2, the crew works to transform their grimy sandwich joint into the next level spot. As they strip the restaurant down to its bones, the crew undertakes a transformable journey of their own, each forced to confront the past and reckon with who they want to be in the future. I have started this one. I'm already about 3 episodes in, and it's amazing. You can tell they got more money for the budget this season. They're doing really good things, and that also kept that FX feel because those type of shows have a certain type of like dynamic. But it's so good, man. If you guys haven't checked out The Bear, be sure to catch up on season 1 and catch up on season 2.
Yeah, and apparently it's the show everybody wants to guest star on because the guest stars this season are just insane, y'all.
Huge.
But I will say, you're right. It has a tone and it's edgy. And my man, Bernthal, now I haven't started it yet. It's on my watch list for this weekend. I'm going to gun through the whole season this weekend. But I have heard, no spoilers, that there's a dinner scene that Bernthal might damn well win an Emmy for. He steals the scene yet again. I say it over and over and over. Every time Bernthal is in something, he steals the show. And I can't wait to fucking watch it, man.
And it's so crazy, too, because he's barely in this series. Like, he's a main component,
yeah,
but he's barely in. No spoilers, no spoilers.
Yeah, it's gonna. I can't wait. I cannot wait. And now, for the next story, which quite possibly might be the shortest story we've ever done in industry news. Here it comes. Yeah. Reservation Dogs is coming to an end. The FX series, which airs on Hulu, will end with its 3rd season. The final 10-episode season will return August 2nd. We don't know anything else. We don't know why it's being canceled. We don't know what caused it, what's behind it. We just know it's coming to an end. See you later. There you go.
It's very unfortunate. I did check out season 1 of this one. I kind of dropped off on season 2 because it was a different like tone. But yeah, it was a really good show, at least for that first season. It was very much about Native American people in nowadays times. So yeah, it really sucks for that type of, environment, that type of, culture that they can't see themselves represented on screen. So hopefully we'll be able to figure something out in a different project. But yeah, it was a good show from what I watched.
Oh yeah.
Now heading over to Fox, they are set to adapt a Dutch psychological quiz show. Now it's called The Floor. That sounds interesting. The network has acquired the U.S. rights to the show, which comes from The Voice and Big Brother creator John D. Mole and Eureka Productions, the company behind ABC's Holy Moly. The deal is a rare bright spot for unscripted TV communities, which has seen a lack of major purchases during the past 6 months. I wonder why. But yeah, new format, guys. But you guys see, I can still not read. So we're sticking with the theme.
Some things never change. We are going to switch it up a little bit, though, because we're jumping over to the bunny, Warner Brothers, and I'm going to let you take this one because you can't take Superman away from me, bro. You know how I feel about Superman. So you jump on this first story.
I understand. Well, Warner Brothers Discovery, The Flash, they suffered a brutal 73% decline in its second weekend at the box office, with just 15.3 million from, get this, 4,265 North American theaters. That's a lot of theaters, guys. That's a far bigger drop than any recent DC adaptations like Black Adam, which dropped 59%, and Shazam! Fury of the Gods, which dropped 69%, which ended up as notably money losers for the studio. So far, the film has generated 87 million at the domestic box office, just in North America and the U.S., and 123.3 million internationally, worldwide, bringing the worldwide total to $210.9 million. That's a big flop for Warner Brothers Discovery, and I'm sure David Zaslav is not sad about it. Take that with what you will.
Yeah, I mean, guys, those numbers are usually what you hear for the opening weekend, not second weekend totals. I mean, that's just, oh my God, man. Woo, that's rough.
It's bad. It's bad.
All right, now, I'm so super pumped about this one. Guys, I've had a lot of revelations over the past couple of days dealing with Superman, but there's so much going on here. But I am super pumped to say that James Gunn has found his Superman and Lois Lane. After a lengthy search, the director and our friend, legendary casting director John Papsadera, David Cornsweet and Rachel Brosnahan will star in Superman Legacy, the film that will launch DC's new universe under writer-director Gunn and his DC Studios co-boss Peter Safran. Now, Cornsweet and Brosnahan were among 6 actors who vied for the lead roles, with Gunn filming screen tests over the June 17th weekend, with Nicholas Hoult and Tom Brittney also in contention to play Superman Clark Kent, and Emma McKay and Phoebe Denever in the running for the Daily Planet reporter Lois Lane, of course. Now, Cornsweet will not only be number 1 on the call sheet of a studio film for the first time ever in his career, but he's doing so as one of pop culture's most enduring heroes. Few roles are as coveted or come with as much pressure as Superman. That's doubly true in the current landscape, as Cornsweet will anchor a new universe as DC attempts to reinvent itself. You know how hard that is. You just heard the Flash numbers. The actor, if you're not familiar with him, first broke out in Ryan Murphy's series The Politician, which was followed by a starring turn in another Murphy-backed Netflix series, Hollywood. Rachel Brosnahan, of course, no way you don't know who she is. She's the Emmy and Golden Globe winner for her acclaimed series The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, of which she is the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel herself. She rose to prominence with House of Cards, which earned her an Emmy nomination. Now, the casting search will now continue for characters such as Lex Luthor and the superhero superhero group The Authority, who are expected to debut in Legacy before toplining their own film. The Superman project will be the first fully produced film under Gunn and Safran's tenure. Superman Legacy has a release date of July 11th, 2025, with Gunn expecting the film early next year. I am so pumped about this. There's been so much back and forth all over the internet about, is it good casting? Is it not good casting? Was it right? Was it wrong? But as I said, and I know, Logan, I think you agree with me now, James Gunn has such a passion for the character of Superman, has since he was a little kid. I trust that if he says these people are right, they're right. And we all know we love John. John is like a brilliant casting director, and he's not going to give anybody in front of James Gunn a chance unless he feels they're the right people. So with both of those guys saying, this is it, I have to believe that that's true.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I feel like, you were going through a roller coaster of emotions because this character is so special for you.
It is.
For me, I've talked about on the show before, for some reason, I just don't have that emotional attachment to Superman like I do Batman or other characters. So this is going to be very interesting. I really like this guy who they got to play him because I was a big fan of the Hollywood series that was on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, Rachel Brosnahan. I mean, I've been a big fan since... the start of Marvelous Miss Maisel. That was the first thing I watched her in because I never watched House of Cards. But I'm whatever. But I am super excited about this casting announcement. They look great together. They are both like really good actors. So I just feel like this is going to be a good decision. I like that they went a tiny bit younger. And yeah, I just feel like, they're already coming out with multiple reports from him while Henry Cavill was playing Superman, talking about Cavill's Superman is so great, but if I were to play Superman, and who knows, I mean, no way they were in negotiations, like what, back in
2019? No, yeah.
And he was like, I would take a little bit lighter approach. So it's interesting to see how all of those different articles come up, but I'm really excited about the casting decision, and this is the first time I'm actually excited about a Superman project.
Well, no, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that. So I'm really pumped to see how they, navigate everything.
Well, you guys know, Christopher Reeve will forever and always be my Superman. He is the one they all have to achieve, which so far has not happened. But I just truly want to say that I hope the chemistry between these two is as accurate and great as Gunn is saying, because I got to tell you something. Tyler and Elizabeth Tulloch on Superman and Lois, their chemistry, they are single-handedly. Christopher Reeve is my Superman. He's still the best. He I don't think has been achieved yet. But Tyler is like this close to matching him. But when you put Tyler with Elizabeth, they are hands down my favorite Superman and Lois Lane. Their chemistry together and them on screen together as the iconic duo has yet to be beat. Christopher Reeve and Margot Kidder didn't get it. Terry Hatcher and Dean Cain didn't get it. Amy Adams and Henry Cavill didn't get it. Brandon Routh and Kate Bosworth didn't get it. These two get it. So I just wanted to put that out there because they're phenomenal. And Cornsweet and Brosnahan are going to have to come full and hard, in my opinion, to match what we've already seen. And by the way, season finale, spoiler alert, Doomsday, and fuck you, Dan Jurgens. Fuck you, Dan Jurgens. That's it.
So that's it. Well, going on to the next Warner Brothers spectacle, which is Dune. A brand new trailer for Dune Part 2 gave us a better look at new characters played by Austin Butler and Christopher Walken, and returning stars like fuck you, Timothy Chalamet, and the lovely Zendaya. Now, in the Oscar-nominated Dune, Paul Atreides, played by the one and only Timothy Douchebag, ventured to Arrakis, the Universal's most dangerous and sandiest planet, to ensure his family and people's future as evil forces exploded in conflict. Now, the sequel, Atreides, teams up with Shani, who is Zendaya, and the Fremen to extract revenge on those who destroyed his family, and he must juggle his love life with the fate of the universe at stake. Dune Part 2 releases in theaters on November 3rd. I
Ooh.
know a lot of people are excited about this one. The first one was fine. It was okay. I don't know if that has anything to do with not seeing it in theaters and watching it strictly on once was HBO Max, now Max.
Right.
But I want to go back and rewatch the first one, like it's an entirety, to get ready for this one. But I mean, it's very interesting because all of these different, we live in an entertainment industry where it's very sci-fi. Nothing's really grounded anymore. So at what point is that too much? And in my personal opinion, I feel like right now we're at the too much. In my opinion, some things swayed me either which way, but for Dune specifically, it's a little, So yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, that makes sense. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, all you have to do is look at what they're expecting from Oppenheimer at the box office, and that'll tell you everything about real life drama driven dialogue films. Don't make money anymore. It's just sad.
It is.
The other two, no, I'm not talking about other two other than me and Logan. We're the only two. You know that. All right. All right. The other two, the cult Max comedy about the inner workings of Hollywood, will conclude June 29th with its season 3 finale. So yesterday, gone. Out of there, sorry to tell you. The ending comes following multiple staff complaints about creators and showrunners Chris Kelly and Sarah Schneider over the course of the production, though several insiders say that there is no casual connection between the complaints and the decision to end with season 3. Bullshit. Multiple sources involved with the other two confirm Kelly and Schneider were the subject of complaints to human resources over behavior on set and in the writer's room. These include allegations that Kelly verbally abused writers and overworked crew, and claims that Schneider enabled his behavior. According to sources, the production conducted a formal investigation into the behavior, during which Kelly and Schneider were not permitted on set for a period of time. Kelly and Schneider were formally cleared of wrongdoing and allowed to return. Kelly declined to comment. Schneider could not be reached for comment at the time we are telling you this. So there you go. It's sad that this continues to be an issue so often in our industry. I hate it.
Yeah, it really sucks because we talk about multiple times with people that come on the show as guests that, like, the rest of the world kind of puts a black cloud over the entertainment industry because of examples like this. And it's really unfortunate because we have a whole bunch of friends in the entertainment industry that are just very beautiful, very genuine people. They have amazing souls. And it's sad to see these small number of instances be the forefront of what's representing the entertainment industry. So it really does suck.
I mean, facts. One of our friends, literally, just for an example, literally just messaged me. She's donating to my daughter who's getting ready to start her teaching career, and she's gearing up for her supplies for her classroom. And one of our friends is already buying a bunch of stuff for her and making sure she gets the supplies she needs. That's the real Hollywood, you guys. That's the real people. And I hate that these pieces of shit every so often tarnish what the real Hollywood is all about. It just drives me nuts.
Yeah, it really sucks. Well, Warner Brothers Discovery has finalized the creative side structure at Turner Classic Movies.
Yes.
A week after director Steven Spielberg, Martin Scorsese, and Paul Thomas Anderson called an emergency meeting with Warner Brothers Discovery chief David Zaslav about reconstructing plans at the channel. A new plan is now being implemented that will see Spielberg, Scorsese, and Anderson actively work alongside Warner Brothers Motion Picture Group toppers Michael DeLuca and Pam Abdi, who are handed creative control of TCM late last week, amid word of the director trio's concerns about layoffs. Under the new structure, Tibish will remain at TSM. On the business side, the channel remains under the purview of Kathleen Finch's U.S. networks. Michael Oloine, who heads up Adult Swim, Cartoon Network, Discovery Family, and Boomerang as president, runs TCM on the business side. The layoffs had ceasefire fans worried that TCM might be shuttered, leading to an emergency call between Spielberg, Scorsese, Anderson, and Zaslav. It is very interesting because some of those things, some of those entities, IPs that I just named, it's kind of surprising that they're even still around. I mean, Boomerang, shit. When was the last time you saw something come out of Boomerang? I mean, they have a specific app that you can pop up on your Roku, your Amazon Fire Stick, those type of things. But I mean, they're not being talked about or anything. So I'm wondering if you're just funneling money into these things that are being not profitable. So that's very interesting.
Well, I think the goal was to sell it all off. That's clearly what Zaslav was. But Turner Classic Movies, they're literally, it's the only place where you can watch like the legendary classic movies, Gone with the Wind and Casablanca, and and you get the guy that does the intros to them and tells you all the little behind the secrets facts about the movies and all that. And again, movie lovers, cinephiles, they love that channel, and thank God for these three directors. Like, hey, wait a minute, you fucktard, let's not get rid of this because people love watching old films. And then, of course, what happened? This guy wants to eliminate the one place that you can watch classic old films, and the fucking Academy invites him to join. What the fuck? Oh my God. I just fucking hate Zaslav. I'm sorry, but I do. All right. Okay. Let's jump over to Paramount. As his series creation, The Bear, turned record season 2 ratings for Hulu, as we just told you. Christopher Storer is set to direct at Paramount Pictures The Winter of Frankie Machine, an adaptation of the 2006 Don Winslow novel. The deal was made before the WGA strike, so he's not crossing lines, don't worry. Winslow and Salerno received numerous approaches from major filmmakers over the past decade, but never found the right fit and shot down all overtures until Storer came along. They loved Storer's passion for the novel and that he was about a fan of the original script. Now, Winslow's 2006 novel is about Frankie Machiani, a hitman for a San Diego mob family who's dragged out of retirement when asked by an LA crime family boss to oversee meeting between Detroit and LA crime families. He realizes quickly it's all a setup to kill him. He needs to shake off the rust and dodge those killers until he figures out who's trying to kill him. That sounds fucking insane. And I know you're all in because you're a gangster guy. You love this fucking mob shit.
Oh, yeah. It's really exciting. And plus, this guy, I just tried to email to get him on the podcast. Hey, Chris, if you're listening, come on the show, bro.
Hell yes. Hell yes.
Would absolutely love it. Well, Showtime has officially been folded into Paramount Plus this week. I literally went to go look for it last night, and I was like, oh, it's not on there.
Did the same fucking thing. I went to watch Billions, and I'm like, where is Billions right now? I had to go find it, man.
That's so funny. Kicking off a push to expand Paramount Global's streaming scale, the move, which was officially announced back in May, as we told you about on the show, we'll see Showtime content including series like Yellow Jackets and Billions, as well as sports like live boxing baked into the one and only Paramount Plus experience. As of the end of March, Paramount Plus had 60 million streaming subscribers globally, us being 2 of them. While Paramount Plus is now an exclusive streaming home of Showtime, the linear TV channel remains available for now. The company previously said that it would rebrand the Showtime linear channel by the end of the year to add some streaming content that had been exclusive to Paramount Plus. So it looks like right now we're just doing baby steps into dissolving Showtime. That's what it's kind of sounding like. So yeah, that's it. That's interesting.
Oh yeah, without doubt. But thankfully, guys, I was able to find Billions, and everything is okay. Everything is okay. And speaking of Billions, holy shit, a new trailer for the show's 7th and final season. I'm so bummed about that. It dropped this week, in which Damian Lewis's hedge fund billionaire Bobby Axelrod states, quote, "I'm back now, and I'm wide awake." Oh, fuck yeah, fuck yeah. The trailer marks the return of the fan favorite character to the finance drama, which begins its new season Friday, August 11th. Cannot get here fucking quick enough. In season 7, alliances are turned on their head. Old wounds are weaponized. Loyalties are tested. Betrayal takes on epic proportions. And enemies become weary friends. Lois, of course, left Billions as the show's co-lead after season 5. Lois will appear in 6 of the new season's 12 episodes. Now, his departure was explained by his character going on the run from legal troubles. Co-star Corey Stoll was then up to a series regular, and his character took over Axe's company. The finance drama now ranks as Showtime's longest-running scripted original series. Billions also stars, of course, Paul Giamatti, Corey Stoll, Maggie Siff, David Costabile, Asia Kate Dillon, Dola Rashad, who I don't think gets nearly enough credit. She's just amazing on that show. Jeffrey DeMunn, Sakina Jaffrey, Daniel Bricker, and Tony Goins. Now, Showtime, of course, as we told you, recently announced it was planning to invest heavily, get it, in Billions. Future, developing as many as 4 series connected to the franchise from executive producers Brian Koppelman and David Levine. Potential stories include Millions and Trillions. Okay, so but are they going to be as good as Billions? That's the question. But anyway, it's going back. Axe is back, baby. I can't wait.
That's so freaking exciting. And is Dola Rashad, is she related to Felicia Rashad?
She is Ahmad Rashad and Felicia Rashad's daughter. That is correct.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She's beautiful, bro. She's absolutely beautiful. The most stunning eyes I've ever seen. And she can act her ass off. She is a phenomenal actress and singer but her character, Kate Sackler, she steals the show, man. Every scene she's in, going up against Paul Giamatti and it's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm looking her up right now. She looks pretty freaking awesome. And she's been in a lot of notable stuff. I don't know. Yeah, Look at that. So all the fun stuff, man. That's why you got to check out IMDb and IMDbPro.
And she's not Condola Rashad anymore. It's just Dola.
Yeah.
Yeah. Follow her on Instagram, Dola Bunny. She's fantastic. Come on the show.
Well, Showtime has scrapped a number of greenlit originals, including the series remake of Gattaca. Gattaca.
There you go.
From Homeland co-creators Howard Gordon and Alex Ganza, and seasoned a comedy starring real-life husband and wife Mandy Patnick and Catherine Grody. Now, it is also not moving forward with 2 development projects, Sweetness and Split. Now, Sweetness comes from Nick Stoller and Emerald Fennell, and it is a female-driven anthology project. It comes out of Stoller's overall deal with Sony Pictures TV, which will shop elsewhere, so we'll see how that goes. And not much is really known about that Split one. The move comes after the cancellation of the other series ahead of their debut, including 3 Women, which moved to Starz, and Ripley, which moved to Netflix. So things just kind of fell through the cracks in that one. And you'll learn that's just kind of what happens in Hollywood. That's why you listen to the show, so you know what happens in Hollywood.
I'm not sure it's a smart move to not move forward with a female-driven project, though. I just feel I hope that does shop around. Somebody's going to be smart enough to pick that up, I think. I'm just saying.
You would hope so.
Right? And Among Us animated series is currently at the works at CBS Studios. The studio, via CBS Animation Productions, has partnered with Innersloth, the independent game studio behind Among Us, to develop the series. Now, Owen Dennis will serve as creator and executive producer on the project under his overall deal with CBS Studios. Per the official logline, the series is based on the premise of the game, namely, members of your crew have been replaced by an alien shapeshifter intent on causing confusion, sabotaging the ship, and killing everyone. Root out the imposter or fall victim to its murderous designs. That sounds like insanely awesome. No network or streamer is currently attached, but those conversations are said to be ongoing, so we'll keep you updated.
That's very interesting because horror and like that thriller, all of that murder stuff is super in right now.
It is.
That's very interesting. So, I mean, speaking of NBC Universal's The Five Nights at Freddy's trailer released this week. And if you guys saw, we did do first look reactions on our TikTok and Instagram. So make sure to check those out after the show. And it takes a look into the Freddy Fazbear and Friends world that her troops all the fright and fears that can be expected from the video game and Blumhouse Productions. The Emma Tammy directed based on 2014's multi-platform video game of the same name stars Hunger Games Josh Hatcherson, screams
Oh,
Matthew Lillard, some kind of wonderful Mary Stuart Masterson, and use Elizabeth Lale.
wow.
The spine-chilling preview sees Hutcherson as Mike Schmidt, and Piper Rubio as his little sister Abby Schmidt. In order to get by and support them, Mike calls a man named William, played by Lillard, to inquire about a security job at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. After arriving at his rundown new job, complete with dirty fixtures, dust-painted walls, and alarming ghosts of old arcade games, Mike quickly learns that the job entails more than just guarding over the formerly working animatronics. Now, the once fun and jolly characters begin to come alive, murdering anyone in the building after midnight,
Oof.
leaving Mike and his little sister in uncertain peril. Now, Universal Pictures brought the film to life from Blumhouse Productions in association with Stryker Entertainment. Now, Five Nights at Freddy's is slated to hit theaters October 27th, just in time for Halloween holiday weekend.
Yes.
It does look absolutely terrifying. It reminds me of a scary Night of the Museum.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely wild.
Yeah, and I was just looking up that cast. Holy shit, that's a phenomenal cast, man.
Right?
They are like they're getting some like huge names for these horror movies, which I'm just loving, man. Keep that going.
Yeah.
I know you're loving this one. Peacock is bringing back Pete Davidson's comedy Bupkis. The streamer has renewed the series for a second season, which is good news for fans who want to find out, spoiler alert, how Davidson fared after his car crash at the end of season 1. The series, which also stars Edie Falco and Joe Pesci, premiered on May 4th and comes from Universal Television and, of course, Lorne Michaels' Broadway video. No details have been given on who is returning for season 2, but expect a large number of guest stars. The first season featured the likes of Machine Gun Kelly, Steve Buscemi, Bobby Cannavale, Charlie Day, Al Gore, Paul Walter Hauser, Chase Suey Wonders, and the one and only Ray Romano. The first season of the semi-autobiographical series followed the former SNL star as he attempts to work through unique family dynamics and the complexities of fame to form meaningful relationships. Falco played his mother, and Pesci stars as his grandfather. That alone should make you want to watch it right there.
Yeah, it's a really hilarious show. It's very raunchy. It's everything that an old comedy was back in the day before we got woke, you could say. But yeah, it's absolutely hilarious. And our thoughts go out to Pete Davidson because he has checked himself into rehab for his mental health. He's going through a lot of stuff right now, just going through a break, but he is smart enough to check himself into a facility when he needs help.
For sure.
That's always good to see. But it is a hilarious show, so be sure to check that out on Peacock. Now, Peacock also announced that the Focus Features sequel to Book Club The Next Chapter, taking Diane Keaton, Jane Foster, Candice Bergen, and Mary Steenburgen to Italy, will begin streaming exclusively on the platform on June 30th.
Oh, today. Okay.
Oh, look at that. Appearing alongside such other recent theatrical titles as Focus Features, action comedy Polite Society, and the horror comedies Renfield and Cocaine Bear from Universal Pictures are also on there right now. I'm very optimistic and skeptical at the same time when it comes to Renfield. So we'll see how that goes if we ever do it. But if we do, we'll be sure to leave a review on our Letterboxd page. So be sure to check us out on Letterboxd.
Yes. I just love that every time we have all these stories that we've had guests on the show from these movies. It's a Cocaine Bear, Renfield. It's amazing. And I know we loved the first book club. We saw it in the theaters with a bunch of old women. It was the funniest fucking experience ever to watch that movie in that theater with that audience. But I was skeptical of the second one, so I think I might check it out now that it's on the streamer. We'll see. I don't know if it can match. I need a bunch of old ladies to come over and watch it with me.
Exactly.
Let's jump over to Sony, and guess what? It's not a Spider-Man story, but it's not a good story either. Columbia Pictures is suing George Gallo, who wrote the story that was developed into the 1995 action hit Bad Boys. Why? Well, they're trying to reassert its rights to the movie franchise. In a complaint filed in California federal court, the studio argues that Gallo can't exploit a provision in copyright law that would allow authors to claw back ownership of their works after a certain period of time. It's asking the court for a declaration that Gallo actually penned the story as a work made for hire, which would make it ineligible for the termination under the new copyright law. Bad Boys, which marked Michael Bay's first feature and starred Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, of course, has spawned 2 sequels and a TV spinoff. Sony is reportedly eyeing a 4th installment to the franchise, with the duo expected to return. When word of that broke, Gallo served the studio with termination notices that purported to terminate the assignment of his copyrights to both Columbia Pictures and Sweet Revenge Productions, his own loan out. He asserts Columbia Pictures lost its U.S. rights as of June 27th of last year to make new works based on his 1985 story that Bad Boys is based on, called Bulletproof Hearts. Apparently, there's some videos and some documentation that kind of prove he agreed it was a work for hire. So I think Sony is going to win this. Yeah. It's much like when the families of the creators of Superman sued, saying they had rights to it, and it was like, he worked for us. It was a work for hire. We owned everything he did, kind of a thing. It's hard, man. Even with the new copyright laws, it's hard to win those cases.
Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure. This next one is by no surprise, honestly, because this man is literally everywhere, does every job that you can think of, and it's kind of crazy, to be honest. He still kind of guest host Kelly and Mark, but Ryan Seacrest will take over for Pat Sajak as host of Wheel of Fortune for season 42. Sajak recently announced his retirement from his syndicated show at the end of next season. In addition to serving as host, Seacrest will also serve as consulting producer on the show. Vanna White is currently renegotiating her contracts to stay on Wheel of Fortune, which begins its 41st season in September. But I also think it would be kind of weird if she stayed and, Pat left. I feel like they should just go out together.
I think so too. And, the memes are awful already. They're already saying that she's going to look like Seacrest's grandmother and just all kinds of horrible stuff. I mean, but I would like to see somebody else be the new letter turner, right?
Yeah.
It just makes sense. All right, jumping over to Lionsgate, and surprise, surprise, Liam Neeson has a new movie, and he's out to kill somebody with a phone, and he's gonna find you. This is the only man I know that makes literally the same movie every time, just with a different name. He has to figure out in this new one what to do when he discovers a bomb in his vehicle. The first full trailer for the film Retribution came out. Director Nimrod Antali's Lionsgate release hits theaters August 25th. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I'm so overwhelmed by it. Right. It's a remake of the 2015 Spanish-language thriller of the same name. Now, the new version centers on Matt Turner, who is driving with his kids when he learns from a mysterious caller. What? There's a phone call involved. Wait, what? That the car contains a bomb that will detonate if anyone exits the vehicle, leading to a high-speed chase throughout the city. Now, Retribution co-stars Matthew Modine, Noma Duwensky, Jack Champion, Lily Aspel, and M. Beth Davids. So it's basically Liam Neeson in a remake of Speed, and he's gonna find you and kill you. I don't even know what else to say about it. This guy, good for him though. Good for him.
Yeah, I mean, Taken came out how many years ago?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Ever since Taken, this man has been boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. And now he's remaking other movies and making them Taken. Let's do Speed, but as Taken. It's so fucking funny.
Oh, goodness. Well, this next one's very exciting, and we're super pumped about it.
Yes.
Starz has released the official Season 2 trailer of its wrestling drama, Heels.
Yes.
Now, the second season brings fans back to the family-owned wrestling organization, Duffy Wrestling League, the DWL, where brothers and rivals Jack and Ace Spade played by Stephen Amell and Alexander Ludwig, continue to fight over their late father's legacy and their individual versions of success, while also working to find their own identity as the face or the heel. Allison Luff, Mary McCormick, Kelly Brugland, and Alan Maldonado, James Harrison, Roxton Garcia, and Chris Bauer also star in this thing. Heels returns for season 2 on Friday, July 28th, just around the corner at midnight Eastern time.
Yes.
So be sure to freaking put that in your calendar, man. If you haven't started watching that one, it's definitely worth the watch.
Oh my gosh, without doubt. And again, another one of our former guests, Alan Maldonado. It's one of the best stories I ever heard. Like when he's talking about what a beast Stephen Amell is. Like, it's so good. Go back and check out that interview, guys, if you haven't listened to it already. It's fantastic. All right, let's jump over to Amazon MGM. Tyler Perry is making the movie Black, White, and Blue at Amazon Studios. It's the first title under a 4-feature film deal that he inked with the streamer back in November. Now, Perry wrote Black, White, and Blue and will direct and produce. The movie follows Phila Blackburn, whose life is shattered when she loses her husband, Rodney Blackburn, at the hand... Oh, excuse me. Boy, I'm having all kinds of trouble today.
Right?
At the hands of a police officer. Determined to get to the bottom of the incident and seek justice, she leans on her best friend, Marley Wells, who is a lawyer, and her husband, Tony Wells, who is a former cop turned private investigator, to use their influence to find the truth. But as the truth unfolds, Phila learns that her entire world is rooted in lies and betrayal. The film stars include Kat Graham from The Vampire Diaries, Tyler Lepley from Harlem, Megan Tandy from Batwoman, Josh Adale from Ruthless, Ron Rico Lee from First Wives Club, Jimmy Stanton from Your Honor, Shannon Lanier from God's Not Dead 3, and Nick Baroda from The Oval. So, hey, I'm all in. Anything Tyler Perry does is usually pretty good, and that sounds like it's going to be badass.
Yeah, man, he's amazing. I'm super excited for everything that he's got going on for him. From has been renewed for season 3 at MGM Plus.
Oh,
what? There's an MGM Plus? Yeah, apparently. The news comes just 4 days after season 2's finale. The 3rd season will consist of 10 episodes, like the previous 2 seasons, and it is expected to premiere in 2024. Now, per MGM Plus, From is the second most watched series in network history, behind only The Godfather of Harlem, and the series takes place in a mysterious town that traps all of those who enter it and prevents them from leaving. Now, it kind of sounds like WandaVision shit.
It does.
The official description of the new season states, in the wake of season 2's epic cliffhanger, escape will become a tantalizing and very real possibility as the true nature of the town comes into focus.
Ooh.
And the townspeople go on the offense against the myriad horrors surrounding them. Season 3 promises more scares and more mysteries, but also some more answers. I know it's been leaving people with a lot of questions, or at least that's what it seems like. So we'll see how that goes.
It does. It seems like it. And I want to know. So we'll find out. Hey, I'm excited about this one. Kevin Bacon is back, baby. He's set to lead genre action series The Bondsman for Amazon Prime's Prime Video. The drama, which scored a straight-to-series order, comes from creator Granger David and Blumhouse Television. It's a return to Amazon for Bacon, who has starred, of course, in I Love Dick. The Bondsman is centered on Hub Halloran, a backwoods bounty hunter who comes back from the dead with an unexpected second chance at life and love and a nearly forgotten musical career. So it sounds like Kevin Bacon, only to find that his old job has now a demonic new twist. It is based on an original idea from David. Now, production will not start until labor negotiations, of course, are resolved. I'm excited about that. I joke around, but I'm a Kevin Bacon fan, and I just think it'll be fun. You know what else I think would be fun? 5 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. I think we should play that and see how many times we can connect each other to Kevin Bacon. I think that'd be great YouTube content, right? I can connect you, you can connect me, and we'll see how many times we can do it. It'll be fucking fantastic.
That's so funny.
What? Everybody says you can connect to Kevin Bacon. I want to fucking know, can we connect to Kevin Bacon? I'm just saying.
Bonus content coming soon.
Bonus content.
Oh, my goodness. Netflix, Max Beasley, the outsider and hijack, has been cast to play Henry Collins in The Gentleman.
Oh.
The Netflix series created by Guy Ritchie and inspired by his 2019 Miramax film, which is actually really good. It has Matthew McConaughey and Charlie from Sons of Anarchy, like super good movie. Hugh Grant. The 8-part drama series follows Eddie Hornman, Theo James, who has inherited his English aristocrat father's seizable estate and becomes the new Duke of Halstead, only to discover that it's sitting on top of the biggest wheat farm in Europe, which is owned by the legendary Mickey Pearson. Now, it's all about the old money, new money, and show me the money. The cast also includes Vinnie Jones, Jolie Richardson, Kayla Scorado, Daniel Ingalls, Giancarlo Esposito, Peter Ritchie directs the first 2 episodes of these and executive produces alongside Matthew Reed, Maren Devies, and Ivan Atkinson. Reed and Ritchie are co-writers on this thing, so that's very exciting. Like I said, it's a very interesting premise, so you guys should definitely go check out The Gentleman with Matthew McConaughey. It's really good.
Hell yeah. And I'm super pumped about this one because I think this is going to be fantastic. I know you were all in on Arnold, and I'm currently watching that one now and fucking loving it. So guess what? Sylvester Stallone is getting a career-spanning documentary on Netflix also. The action icon will be profiled in the upcoming project titled Sly. Now, could it have been called anything else? It couldn't have. The announcement comes on the heels of Netflix rolling out the 3-part documentary series about Stallone's friend and former box office rival, Arnold Schwarzenegger, titled Arnold. The retrospective documentary will be directed by Tom Zimney and will be released in November. I know what you're asking. What's it going to be about? Well, I'm going to tell you. For nearly 50 years, Sylvester Stallone has entertained millions with the iconic characters and blockbuster franchises, from Rocky to Rambo to The Expendables. This retrospective documentary offers an intimate look at the Oscar-nominated actor, writer, producer, director, paralleling his inspirational underdog story with the indelible characters that he's brought to life. Just a little promo where he says, being a part of the entertainment industry comes at a cost. I think this thing's going to be phenomenal, and I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, as someone who lived through the 80s, I mean, I felt like you had to pick one. Were you a big Sly fan or a big Arnold fan? I feel like you lean more towards the Sly side.
I did lean more towards I just fucking love all the Rocky shit. Everything the man did in the 80s, pretty much. Well, there was a couple here or there that were hit and miss.
Yeah.
But I did have an appreciation, because we all know who my childhood crush was, Alyssa Milano. So when Arnold had Alyssa in his movie there, Commando, I was swayed. I'm like, okay, I'll check this guy out. I mean, he's got Alyssa, okay. But I was a Sly guy. I mean, come on. Rocky's the ultimate, underdog hero story. Come on.
For sure. And yeah, I was definitely an Arnold guy, as I'm sure people have seen on my Twitter. I was jonesing over that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Prey director Dan Thatchertenberg, that's the name, has been announced as a director on season 5 of Stranger Things.
Yes.
The news comes just after Terminator alum Linda Hamilton's casting was announced at Netflix's Tudum event, making her the latest 80s icon to join the series. Other stars include Winona Ryder, obviously, as well as Matthew Modine, Sean Astin, Paul Reiser, Carrie Elwes, and Robert Ingold. The Netflix renewed the popular drama for its 5th and final season in February of 2022. But production on the installment was paused before it could even begin due to the ongoing writer strike. Now, the Duffer Brothers revealed in May that they would stand in solidarity of the Guild despite already writing some of Season 5. Now, as it stands, Season 5 does not currently have a premiere date in place, which sucks because we all know that Netflix takes forever to release shit anyway. So, I mean, it's by no surprise, honestly.
Yeah,
if it wasn't going to be the writer's strike, it was going to be something else. Let's be honest about it. So, it's fine. We're used to it.
Facts. All right, let's jump on over to Apple. Apple TV Plus announced The Morning Show returns for its third season on September 13th and provided a little sneak peek at the series newcomers John Hamm and Nicole Beharie. The 10-episode season will debut with its first 2 episodes and will be followed by one new episode every Wednesday through November 8th. Hamm is set to portray Paul Marks, a UBA executive, Beharie as UBA's newest anchor, Christina Hunter, and additional newcomer Tig Notaro will portray Paul's chief of staff, Amanda Robinson. Now, the latest cast members joining returning stars, of course, Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon, Mark Duplass, Billy Crudup, Juliana Margulies, Greta Lee, and Karen Pittman. Now, season 3 will pick up after Alex's producing partner, Chip, convinces the TV anchor to go on camera and live stream her COVID-19 diagnosis and quarantine. As Alex faces coronavirus, her co-anchor, Bradley, searches for her missing brother alongside network executive Corey, who in the final moments of the season, remember, professed his love for her. Now, per the official logline, this season, the future of the network is thrown into question and loyalties are pushed to the brink when a tech titan takes an interest in UBA. Unexpected alliances form, private truths are weaponized, and everyone is forced to confront their core values both in and out of the newsroom. That sounds fucking phenomenal, I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's one of the best shows on television, and I feel like it's very underrated. And let's be honest about it. A lot of projects from Apple, specifically on their television side, are very underrated.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm super excited for this thing to come back, and yeah, it's going to be very interesting. And just a keynote thought, obviously, the streamers do so well with, movies, or well, not with movies, with television.
Right.
So we've talked about this before. I feel like streamers should just stick to television and let the theaters get back into the movies. I feel like that would help things move along, especially, with Netflix spending a boatload of money on movies that they don't necessarily have. So it's very interesting. But yeah, I wish that's how they could balance everything. But they're still just trying to figure it all out.
Apple got that money, though. I saw today $3 trillion the company is now worth. The first company ever in history to hit that market cap value. $3 trillion. They can make some fucking movie. They can make whatever they want. Anybody want to start that rumor about buying Disney again? I'm just saying, $3 trillion fucking dollars. They clearly have enough money to buy Disney if they want to make that happen. I'm just saying.
It's so funny. Well, now it is time for our guest segment.
Yes.
We got the one and only Natasha Blasick coming on the show to talk about her new freaking show on Peacock, Paul T. Goldman. She is an absolute gem. We're super excited to have her on because she just radiates that positivity and just everything she's been through, everything her family has been through. She just always has a smile on her face. And so I feel like it is very rewarding for people to listen to this interview because you will see that you can basically overcome anything. So I'm really excited for everybody to hear this.
Oh, hell yeah. And yeah, we do. We dive deep into mental health. We don't just talk about all our projects and everything, but we get deep. Another one of those great interviews where we dive deep into the mental health aspect of it all. So you guys are really going to enjoy this one.
Oh, for sure. Well, here she is. Man, our first industry news like this. That it was interesting. I felt like we found a good rhythm.
I think so. And it was a little long, but we can't not talk about all the ramifications of the strikes and how it affects us and everybody in the industry and everything. We had to dive in, but I think we nailed it, bro. I think we nailed it. So.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, for the bonus content out there for all you YouTube people, I know it's interesting, but like we said, we stress this will not be forever. We will be back. The goal is to open up a podcast studio to make it look more professional than ever. And so, yeah, we're really excited about the future. Everybody here at Crazy Ant Media is rocking and rolling with everything. So, man, the dream is amazing.
That's right.
Life is good right now, and we're staying positive.
Before you know it, Logan and I will be together in a room singing Reunited, and it feels so good. It's coming. Watch, I'm telling you.
Just wait on it, man. Oh man. But okay, we'll jump back in and do the top 5, finish this thing up, and be rocking and rolling. All right, now it is time for our top five segment, man. And this week is very interesting, very sad, very sad. But I mean, we bring up people who we know, we love, and we're just huge fans of. So this week, our top five is actors and actresses you wanted to see more of until they either passed away or retired.
Yeah.
Very interesting, right?
Yeah, this one was an interesting one for sure. Hard too.
Yeah, it really was. It really was. I want to start off with my number five, which is John Wayne. And people say, man, John Wayne, he had a lot of, different things that he did throughout his career, whether that be Westerns, whether that be war movies, dramas, all these good things. But now, stay with me. You may have different opinions, and this will be very interesting. We've been talking a lot on air, off air about Batman Beyond. And I feel like John Wayne as an old grizzled Batman, I felt like that would have been badass. Just his interpretation. I don't know if he could have ever gotten in the suit. I don't know if I would have want to seen that. Him as Bruce Wayne with the cane and the dogs. I felt like that could have been a really interesting take on an old grizzled Bruce Wayne. So yeah, my number five of something I wish I could have seen, or all could have seen. But yeah, John Wayne, man, John Wayne.
John Wayne, that's a good one, man. I'm gonna do a couple things on the fly here, bro. So don't get freaked out when I go for it.
Oh goodness.
I'm just pondering, and I'm like, you know what? But anyway, my number five goes to the adorable, the lovable, the one and only Meg Ryan. She just kind of like fell off the face of the fucking earth. What happened? Yeah. I mean, I know she was going through some stuff with the divorce from Quaid and like the John Mellencamp and, dating and the rumors and all this kind of stuff going on or whatever. Produced a hell of a kid, Jack Quaid, who's a fucking awesome actor himself and everything,
Great
right?
Actor.
But I loved her. Her and Tom Hanks, like all the romantic comedies that they were in together. And then she showed her serious side with that alcoholic movie that she was, where she portrayed an alcoholic mother. It just Little Mae Whitman, phenomenal actress, and just kind of disappeared. Like, where the fuck did you go, Meg Ryan? I wanted so much more. I wanted to see more comedies from you. I wanted to see more dramas from you. I wonder if it had anything to do with maybe the butchered face. I mean, I don't want to put that out there, but I am. She kind of got some work done and didn't go as well as maybe it should have. And I just wonder if that led to the not in front of the camera anymore. I know she did some behind the scenes stuff for a little bit, but even that stopped. And I was just like, I felt like for the longest time she was America's sweetheart. She was the one everybody wanted to have in everything and be with. And I miss her. I wish she would come back. I think that there's still work out there for you, Meg. Come back.
Exactly. And I mean, prime project would have been Top Gun. Something quick, easy. I mean, if Val Kilmer came back,
Oh, yeah. Why not? Yeah. Why couldn't they get her for that? You're so right.
Yeah. Missed opportunity. Number four for me, I don't necessarily know if she's retired from acting, but we definitely know that she is very much focused on her music career. And I'm talking about Beyonce.
Yeah.
It's the one and only Queen Bee. She is honestly a phenomenal actress. Like, everything she's been in, like Dreamgirls, Austin Powers, and Goldmember, Obsessed, The Lion King when she did her voiceover, I just felt like she knocked it out of the park. And I just, I want to see more of her in the film and television industry because she's so talented. Everything that she does when she steps on screen or on stage, she just knocks it out of the park. But she was literally born to be an entertainer, so it makes complete sense. So I just wanted to put that on there as like a, I don't know if you're done, but I would love to see more from you. So yeah, number four for me, Beyonce.
Good choice, man. Good choice. My number four, along those lines also, Lisa Bonet. I mean, daughters everywhere, right? Zoe Kravitz is out there just slaying right now, but her mom equally as talented and a phenomenal actress in her own right, man. Right. And not just from The Cosby Show. Everybody remembers The Cosby Show in A Different World and everything. But, dude, Angel Heart, probably one of the most controversial movies of its time with De Niro and Mickey Rourke. And you're thinking, like, what the fuck? And there's some question about did they or did they not really have sex on screen. We don't know. But she was phenomenal in that. And then, of course, High Fidelity, of which her daughter was in the television series of the same thing, which was freaking awesome. She has been making some appearances, but we haven't seen her since 2017. So that's what 6 years? So I want to see her come back. I think she's a highly underrated actress. She is extremely talented. And I just think, where are you at? Where are you at, Lisa? I mean, honestly, what I would love to see, is her and her daughter in something together. I think that they would be brilliant together.
Yeah, that would be pretty badass.
First of all, they look like fucking twins. I mean, they're so I don't know. And that family is so tight, right? Like, even though, Momoa and Kravitz and Lisa, there's, I don't know, but all of them seem to remain pretty tight. How awesome would it be to have Lisa Bonet, Zoe Kravitz, Lenny Kravitz, who does a little acting himself, and fucking Momoa all in a movie together?
Oh my god!
I mean, can we make that fucking happen? Because I feel like that would be fucking epic.
It would be. It really would. Number 3 on my list goes to Cameron Diaz. Even though she has a movie that's about to come out, Back in Action, we haven't seen her since, I believe, 2019.
Yeah.
Since Annie, that with Jamie Foxx. It's funny because Back in Action also has Jamie Foxx in it. But she had been said to retire from acting. And if you remember, back in the 90s and early 2000s, she was the it girl.
She was
everywhere.
Something About Mary.
Franchise, it's Something About Mary. She is so good, and not just the rom-coms and the silly stuff, but she is such a good dramatic actor too.
Yeah.
If you go back and look at Gangs of New York, one of my all-time favorite Scorsese and Leo films, she is so good and holds her own with such amazing talent. So yeah, I would just love to see more of Cameron Diaz because she's absolutely amazing. That's why she's on my list. Number 3, Cameron Diaz.
For sure. Okay, my number 3, and I know he's on your list too, but I mean, he had to be on there because how could he not be? I'm talking about Heath Ledger. This man, from The Patriot to I'm not even going to list everything because he was just, everything the man did was amazing. And this is a tragic story because we would have seen more of him had he not had the tragic passing away that he did. It kills me because you talk about a guy that I just, there's no words to describe how talented this guy was as an actor and what he was bringing to the industry and what he was bringing to life in art. To have it end the way it did, I feel, and I'm sure you feel the same, robbed. Felt robbed that we can't get more from him because I think that this guy had a long, storied career ahead of him that we would have been talking about him well into his 80s as a legend in the industry. And I just hate that we were robbed of that because, oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. That leads into mine because, yeah, my number 2 is Heath Ledger. I just feel like, it's such a sad and tragic passing, especially seeing all the documentaries that have come out, hearing all the stories from like-minded talent, all the people who have just encountered him as a presence, as a soul, as a person. It is very hard to see that stripped away and taken away when he put so much time and passion into his art. Didn't necessarily like all the publicity and being famous part, but we know not a lot of them do.
Right.
So this is a story of the dark side of Hollywood and how that can sometimes play into things. That's why we have to stay open about our mental health. That's why we have to, ask others if they're okay, what they're going through. So yeah, it's a prime example of different things that happen in the entertainment industry. But yeah, I mean, number 2 and number 3 for us. So yeah, Heath Ledger.
Oh, yeah. And unfortunately, my top 2 are leading into same type stories, and it's tragic, it's sad, and I hate it, but it is what it is. My number 2, the man who made me think a man could fly, Christopher Reeve. Christopher Reeve, beyond Superman, right? Everybody knows him as Superman. He will forever be known as Clark Kent / Superman, but so many other phenomenal roles that this man played. He was a Juilliard-trained actor, y'all. not just in film, but in television and on stage. The man was outstanding. And I for sure wanted to see more. He was making that move away from Superman. He was starring in some stuff that was like distancing himself from it. And he was killing it, man. He was just, who knows what the future would have been for him as he progressed on in the career and got older, and the type things that we were going to see from him. And even after his accident, he made that appearance on Smallville and was still out there trying to do his best to be and stay true to his art. But unfortunately, the accident and everything that came with it just overcame what he was able to do and ended up, taking his life. And it's unfortunate because this man, again, was extremely talented. And I feel like just beyond the iconic role of Superman, had so much more to give this industry and his craft. And again, I feel like just a tragic end to what could have been a stellar career for many, many more decades. And it breaks my heart, man. And because he was Superman, the indestructible, the Superman hope and everything that stood for, and like just to see it end the way it did was just, it's still tough to talk about.
It's rough because, now going back and doing my film study, as I like to call it, I'm going back and looking at all these different things. And one I just put on his was Somewhere in Time.
Yes, Jane Seymour.
That's definitely one that is on my list to watch. So, I'm excited to learn more about his work, but at the same time, it makes me sad.
Yeah, you're going to love that movie. Him and Jane Seymour's chemistry in that film is phenomenal, and it's one of those examples of stepping away from Superman where he just slays it, man.
Yeah, exactly. Well, number one for me, I think, is the Hollywood Rebel, who everybody just idolizes, even though he didn't have that many films underneath his belt. I think it's like 3 or 4. But he was such an icon. There was something about him. And I'm talking about the one and only James Dean. Just to be able to go back now, especially, I'm thankful for Max, because they do have a lot of these TCM movies that you can go back and check them out. And that's why that is important to keep around, Zaslav. But I watched Rebel Without a Cause, and it moved me in such a way to where you're just a new kid, and then you get into this certain situation to where you have to try to maintain everything, and things that are out of your control or things that you have no idea what's going on, and then you step into a situation and it's just pure chaos. So it's very crazy, but the amount of impact that he made in the entertainment industry with the amount of time that he had, I feel like is unfathomable. So that's why I had to put him on my list, because I believe everybody would have wanted to see more from him. So taken too soon, and tragic car accident on set. So that's definitely one of those stories where you have to be safe. That's very important. But number one for me, the one and only James Dean.
Woo. Would you say he's a giant? Get it? Come on. Giant, another one of his epic movies. I had to go there. And tragically, it brings up another person, honorable mention, that could have made the list. Natalie Wood starred in Rebel Without a Cause with him, and just another tragic story where she had so much more to give, I'm sure of it. Phenomenal young actress, and just tragic. My number one, best friend of my number two, Christopher Reeve. I'm talking, of course, about my captain, Robin Williams. Man, did I want to see more? Fuck yes, I wanted to see more. That man was absolutely brilliant. Another Juilliard trained. It's where he met Christopher Reeve, and what a tragic. And this is a man who, after Christopher Reeve's accident, y'all, and this is not public known. It is now, but it wasn't at the time. He paid. When Christopher Reeve ran out of money and the insurance stopped paying for things, Robin Williams paid for that man's medical expenses throughout until the time, all the way up until he died. That's the kind of man Robin Williams was. And when you think about the artist that he was, you're talking about a guy going from Mork and Mindy right? Mork and Mindy, y'all, to the legendary status of Dead Poet Society and Goodwill Hunting and all of the phenomenal drama that he did. The creepiest fuck. You guys remember our top 5 lists a few weeks ago about, against typecast roles, right? Like, his talent was just scary good. Scary good. And to think, again, how it ended, right? If somebody had just reached out, hey, how you doing, man? What's going on? Can we talk to you? Can we help you? Just the mask that he wore with the constant smile and the comedy and all of the trauma that he was hiding. It's really hard to think about. And just, this is a man that could still be around giving us so much more for so many more years to come. And he was a treasure, and what he meant to the industry and the art itself was just, it's amazing. And it's hard to think that, again, we were robbed of everything that could have come for many years. It's heartbreaking. It's really, really heartbreaking when you think about it. And yeah, definitely somebody that I want to see more from. Just, I mean, how could you not want to see more of it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, all of these situations are crazy because they're so idealized and they're so impactful in the entertainment industry. So yeah, it is crazy. But that is our top 5 actors and actresses you wanted to see more of who either passed away or retired. Be sure to let us know what those actors are for you. Comment below in the YouTube comment section, in the podcast section, or on Twitter at the one and only J Logan Austin and at Crazy Ant CEO.
Yes.
We want to know your thoughts. Please be sure to do that. Well, heading over to the box office recap, by no surprise, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse came in at number 1 with $19.3 million. Number 2 was Elemental with $18.5 million. The Flash, with that 76 or 78% drop off, at number 3 with $15.3 million. No Hard Feelings with $15.1 million. And the one that I'm kind of sad about and still want to go see is Transformers Rise of the Beast at number 5 with $11.6 million.
Yeah, right?
I felt like that one didn't get the notable like marketing that it deserved.
It didn't. And I feel like, yeah, I feel like not only just not the marketing that it deserved, but then opening against so much competition, it just, I feel like it fell by the wayside. I want to go see No Hard Feelings also. That just looked hilarious as shit to me, and Jennifer Lawrence is just amazing, and I totally want to see that one too. I think I'm going to try to catch that this weekend after I watch The Bear.
There you go. That'd be really good. And new movies coming out, like we talked about a little bit. Indiana Jones, and the Dial of Destiny.
Yes.
Let's face it, no one has the balls to release something opposite it. And Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken. So select theaters near you. So good luck with that. Interesting.
Jason is going to tear you apart for that. I'm telling you, be prepared.
That makes sense. It makes sense. Movies you can still go see right now: Asteroid City, The Little Mermaid, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, The Blackening, and The Boogeyman.
Yes.
All of those. Be sure to head out to your local cinemas and check those out this 4th of July weekend. Now heading over to the IMDbPro's Top Trending segment. Oh man, the movie The Flash is actually the trending movie, which, I mean, a lot of people have been talking about with the amount of cameos that are in it. So, I mean, that makes sense. The top trending TV show is The Black Mirror. They just recently had a new season come out that I guess is very interesting and has a lot of people talking. And the top trending star is Sasha Calle, which I'm guessing is from The Black Mirror.
Nope. Supergirl. She's Supergirl in The Flash.
That's even more exciting because she did very well.
Oh, she slayed, and apparently is in negotiations with Warner Brothers to continue playing her. So I hope that is true, and I hope it happens, because she was maybe, other than my man Keaton back and, spoilers, Christopher Reeve back, I think she stole the movie. She was phenomenal.
Man, I was just super excited to see Nick Cage. I love Nick Cage. So great. I'm being sarcastic. I hate Nick Cage. I'm so mad. I was more excited to see George Clooney. It's fine. Spoiler alert. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for getting crazy with us on this episode. Oh my goodness, we're happy to be back. We got to thank our guest one more time, Natasha Blasick, for coming on the show and talking about
Yes.
Paul T. Goldman. Man, oh man, be sure to follow her at Natasha Blasick. We've been promoting her everywhere on our social media. So if you want to follow her, just follow our social media and then you'll find her handle. With spelling, I understand. I'm not the best speller or speaker, so it's all good. I understand. Be sure to follow the company and podcast on social media. The company is at Crazy Ant Media on all social media platforms and Letterbox. And the podcast is at ITCAF Podcast on all social media. We are talking about exploring the Snapchat social media space as well. So be sure to follow us to stay up to date with all of those new ventures that we're going into. And of course, you can subscribe to this podcast anywhere you listen to your podcast: Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Stitcher, and so much more. And of course, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel where we have content literally coming out every single day. We're so super excited about everything going on at Crazy Ant Media.
Yes.
That's why you got to visit our website, www.crazyantmedia.com, where you can start rocking the latest and greatest Crazy Ant Media gear and stay up to date with our projects and watch our film deadlines. We have so much going on here at the company. That's why you have to follow us and check out our website.
Yes.
But man, I have to say, just the satisfaction of being back, I think, is the best part of the show, reflecting. It is very interesting. We are definitely, I feel like we started to find our rhythm, like we talked about in our YouTube bonus section, if you watch the YouTube channel. But I'm very excited for the future. I think it's going to be very good. I think it's going to help us, even though there is a writer strike right now in the entertainment industry. That gives us time to get things better than ever, more ready than ever before. So I'm very excited for the future, for the shows, and for possible future business ventures for Crazy Ant Media, because we had a very exciting meeting with an app and a website and a different company this week. So we're still rocking and rolling, man, better than ever before.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Just, it doesn't matter where we're at, we still get it done. I was super excited. It just felt really good to talk about the industry again and just to dive deep into it, right? I mean, we of course have been involved in it because we have, projects in development and a film that's supposed to start shooting but doesn't look like it's going to now, unfortunately, anytime soon. But so we're constantly, talking about it, but to be able to publicly talk about it and give our thoughts and opinions, and just, it felt so good to be able to do that again. And just, I've missed it. I love dropping our interviews and everything, but I like when we can get together and talk about the industry, and just, it's one of my favorite things for sure.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And of course, one of our favorite things is staying up to date with the one, the only
Oprah!